Namaskar. In the Hanuman Jayanti program at the Institute in 2024, we began with the 108 names of Hanuman. We continued that in 2025. Now the remaining verses will be recorded and uploaded here. I encourage you to look at the YouTube videos of the sessions at the Institute, because in addition to the names, it gives quite a bit of background on the importance of understanding and reciting the names. Okay, let's begin. मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये. So we look at the 8th stanza. It says, Sanchaladvala sannadha lambamana shikhojjvalah gandharva vidya tattvagno mahabala parakramaha. So the first among these names is a very long one. Sanchaladvala sannadha lambamana shikhojjvalah, which means the one who is moving the tail. So Hanuman is famous for his long tail that has fascinated several of his devotees, and it's depicted in so much of art around Hanuman. So moving this tail that is wrapped, Sanchalat means moving, this tail that is wrapped and is in flames, because it's a famous story. When he first goes to Lanka looking for Sita, he allows himself to be captured by the soldiers of Ravana. He's produced in front of Ravana, and then quite a bit goes on there. He extends his tail to greater and greater lengths. Eventually, the demons, the asuras, they wrap the tail with cloth and set it on fire. It is a very famous and striking scene. And then there is also Hanuman's thought. He thinks, what is left for me to do here? Kim nu khalu avashishtam me kartavyam iha sampratam. Because he has come, he has found Sita. And then he is looking for things to do which will cause even more chaos and problems for his enemies, the Rakshasas. So he says, Yat esham rakshasam bhuyaha santapa jananam bhavet. Santapa means torment. So what can I do to create torment in this enemy territory? And so he is actually set on fire because his tail is set on fire, but he uses this opportunity to move the tail around, and therefore with the conjunction with air, the flames grow in size. It says Kalagni iva jajjvala pravardhata hutashanaha. So like Kalagni, Kala refers to time, refers to death, refers to destruction. Kalagni is that great fire that can destroy worlds. So similarly, his tail was blazing in flames once he started moving them. And then we know the famous scene or episode where he moves from one mansion to another in Lanka, setting all of them in flames. So this is what this particular name should give rise to in the minds of devotees. So this is all the great prowess of his and the presence of mind to use this situation of actually personal danger, because he's set on fire, but he uses that to actually create problems for his enemies. There is also the very beautiful stanza recited by Sita here, or she is thinking, she finds out that Hanuman's tail is set on fire, and then she feels very bad. Because Hanuman is the messenger who came to her with news of Rama, and now he is in danger. His tail is set on fire. So it's very remarkable what she says. She says, Yadimam vritta sampannam tat samagamalasam savijanati dharmatma shito bhava hanumataha. Very, very beautiful. She says, if I have been pure and solid in my character, even when captured by the demon Ramana, and if I pine to be united with my husband, that samagama lalasam, if I pine to be united with my husband, sa vijanati cha dharmatma, and if he, that is Rama, the husband, if he knows that, so if I have been true in my purity and character, if I am pining to be um, united back with my husband Rama, and he, Rama, the Dharmatma, if he knows that, if all of this is true, O God of fire, please be pleasant and cool for Hanuman. Shito bhava Hanumataha. So she is not simply praying, she is establishing how she has done her part, she has carried out her dharma. Not only that, if that is true, and if Rama knows that, because her dharma is associated with Rama, it is with respect to her husband, and if the husband has that trust and faith and is aware of that, then, O deity of fire, be cool for Hanuman. And if Sita, the Mahashakti, Mahadevi incarnation of her, if she wishes for this, for Hanuman, so look at the love and affection she has for Hanuman and how then he is protected by her power and wishes as well. Okay, so that is the first among the names in this stanza. Sanchaladvala Sannadha Lambamana Shikhojwalaha. Next one, it is Gandharva Vidya Tattvajno. Now, Gandharva Vidya is the art of the celestials. So there are celestial beings called Gandharvas who are supposed to be experts in arts such as classical music and dance and so on. Here again we see that music and dance very much associated with Hanuman. In fact, in the part 2, the second session, we went through a story about Hanuman's prowess in music and how it was completely penetrated by devotion. So here again, that aspect of music and dance comes through. Hanuman is supposed to be an expert in that. And in fact, there is also something called Hanumat Veena, an instrument, just like Saraswati has her Veena, she is the goddess of music. There is a Hanumat Veena as well. So this brings out that aspect of Hanuman, which is dear to his devotees who are immersed in the arts of music and dance and so on. And the next name is Mahabala Parakramaha. The Mahabala, Bala means strength, the ability to overcome obstacles. That's also something we have seen. Parakrama means heroism, prowess, the ability to get things done regardless of difficulties and getting very difficult, challenging things done. So in terms of Bala, there are 10 Balas listed in Shanti Parva. Vidya Abhijana Mitrani Buddhi Sattva Dhanani Cha Tapassahaya Viryani Daivam Cha Dashamam Balam. Vidya. So having the Vidya is knowledge, skill, craft, arts, having all of that, having good people around you, having good friends, having wisdom, buddhi, ability to think, wisdom, ability to reason, sattva, strength in body, health, dhana, dhanam is also the means, the money, the wealth, tapa, the ability to this ability of self-control, in some sense austerity, in some sense worship, control over oneself to get difficult powers, the ability to get things done through that. See, we know tapas as part of the niyamas. Tapassahaya viryani, the courage, the ability to get cooperation, all of that. And daivam means good fortune, good blessings from the deities. All of these are 10 balas, and Hanuman obviously had all of that, and we have seen stories previously which directly indicate that. So Hanuman is a Mahabala Parakrama. In fact, when Hanuman comes back from Lanka after finding Sita, Rama embraces him. Now look at how it is for a devotee to have your Lord embrace you. So Rama experienced it says, Ityuktva Pritirushtango Ramastam Parishaswaje. Rama experienced the joy of love all over his body. And Parishaswaje means he embraced Hanuman, who had returned successfully. Because Hanumantam Kritatmanam Kritakaryam Upagatam. So he had finished his duty. He had done a great heroic deed. Therefore, he is Mahabala Parakrama, and so great that Rama comes and embraces him. In fact, in Lanka, even when Rakshasas, when they see Hanuman, they look at it, they wonder, what is this? Who is this? Is this a form of Brahma? Is it a form of Vishnu? Kim Vaishnavam va Kapirupametya Raksho Vinasha Param Sutechaha. Has Vishnu himself come in this form? Anantam Avyaktam Achintyamekam Swamayaya, through his own Maya. Is it the great Lord Vishnu who has come? Is it Brahma who has come? So this Mahabala Parakrama, that aspect is appreciated and seen by everybody, whether it is Rama or the Rakshasas. They see Hanuman as a great hero who is accomplishing great things. So that covers stanza number 8. Then we move on. Now comes the 9th verse. It says, Karagraha vimokta cha Shrinkhala bandha mochakaha Sagarottaraka pragnyo Ramaduta pratapavan. So the first among the names is Karagraha vimokta. Karagraha means a prison. So one who releases from the prison. Srinkhala bandha mochakaha. Somewhat related. The next one. One who removes the chains that one has been tied with. So we are all tied with chains, and one who releases those chains is Hanuman. So releasing from the prison, releasing from chains. Now this can be interpreted in several ways, of course. The worldly life itself, in a sense, is a prison. There is bondage, and this is different from a state of liberation where there is complete beatific freedom. Hanuman plays a prominent role in leading us from this life of bondage to life of liberation. At the same time, there is also a background of a story from the Hanuman's lore around this. This is with reference to the celestial deity, celestial being called Shani. Shani Deva is one of the deities corresponding to planets. He is highly respected but also highly feared, because it is said per Indian tradition that if Shani is not favorable, a lot of problems get created in one's life. And also, those who are looking for protection from these problems of Shani, they are regularly advised to go and pray to Hanuman. So all over, even in Pune, on Saturdays, you will see a long line outside Hanuman temples. In most cases, it is people going there because they believe they are afflicted by Shani, and Hanuman is the one who would protect. Now the story is that Ravana, the demon of Ramayana, a lot of this, so Ravana becomes very powerful and he goes conquering various celestial beings. This has been provided in detail in the Uttarakanda of the Valmiki Ramayana. So now, in one of these cases, it is said Ravana captures Shani, conquers and captures Shani, and has him imprisoned in Lanka. So now Shani is suffering greatly because he is in captivity in Lanka and he is unable to do his activities, either providing grace or creating problems or whatever. But Shani is in distress, captured by Ravana in Lanka. So one of these stories, not from Valmiki Ramayana, but one of the variants, says when Hanuman went to Lanka and set the entire city ablaze. And we know we have seen it, very famous and popular episode of Ramayana. Hanuman accidentally reaches the prison where Shani was held. So he hears somebody calling for help. So Hanuman, in that state where he is burning the city, he has been tied, his tail has been set on fire. He goes, breaks open the prison, and he rescues Shani Dev. So Shani Deva is now very grateful to Hanuman for this release, and he offers Hanuman a boon. And Hanuman, being how he is, very humbly he requests Shani Deva. He says, please do not trouble any of my devotees. And therefore, anybody who is devoted to Hanuman has the protection of Hanuman from Shani Deva. Shani immediately agreed, and he says that anybody who worships Hanuman or chants praises of Hanuman will be protected from any harsh influence from Shani Deva. Now, because Hanuman released Shani from prison, the name Karagraha Vimokta is apt. Also, Shrinkhala Bandha Mochakaha, removed someone from who was chained in bondage. So that covers the first two names in this verse. Next is Sagarottarakaha. Now this is well known. Hanuman crossing the ocean. Sagara means the ocean. Now of course, on one hand Hanuman is jumping and crossing over the mighty ocean. This is something that has fascinated generations and generations. At the same time, this world is also referred to as an ocean. It is known as a samsara aranava or samsara sagara. So this whole worldly life that we are caught up in, it is said to be also an ocean. And just like Hanuman can jump over the physical ocean, Hanuman can also hold us and take us across the samsara aranava and again liberate us from this being tied up in this worldly life and samsara. Now here there is a lovely verse. I thought I'll bring it up. Now again it is one of the praises of Hanuman. The choice of words is very beautiful. It says Ullangya Sindhoho Salilam Salilam Yashokavanyam Janakatmajayaha Adaya Tenaiva Dadaha Lankam Namamitam Pranjaliranjaneyam. So this is recited by one of the Vanaras. So Ullangya Sindhoho Salilam Salilam. So there is Salila and Salila. So having jumped across Ullangya Sindhoho of the ocean, Salilam the waters. So having jumped across the ocean waters of the ocean, Salilam Salilam. Salilam means with ease, without any difficulty, playfully. And what did he do? Yashokavanyam Janakat Majayaha. The Shokavanni, the fire of sorrow. Whose fire of sorrow? Janakat Maja means the daughter of Janaka, Sita. So that fire of sorrow, having taken that fire, Adaya Tenaiva Dadaha Lankam. This is that fire of sorrow of Sita's, he took that and with that itself he burnt Lanka. So rather than the physical fire put to his tail, here it is said that it is actually the fire of sorrow of Sita that ended up burning Lanka. So Adaya, Hanuman is the one who took that fire of sorrow and then using that burnt Lanka. So to him I bow, Namamitam Pranjaliran. So beautifully it is said how he crossed the ocean and did this great act. and then the name Sagarottaraka. The next name is Prajna. Prajna is of course very wise and knowledgeable. In fact, Sugriva, when he asked Hanuman to look for Sita, he specifically goes and tells Hanuman that you are the one, only you will be able to do it. He says, Tvai eva Hanuman asti balam buddhi parakramaha. You are the only one who has the bala, the power and courage, the buddhi, the intelligence and wisdom, the parakrama, the ability to get things done. Deshakala anivritticha nayatcha naya panditaha. So you are the one who understands considerations of time and space, what to follow, what to not follow, what are the principles to hold to, what are the principles not to hold. So all of this wisdom and ability and courage is in you. So you are the only one who should go and look for Sita and will be able to rescue her. Similarly, when Rama first sees Hanuman approaches Rama and Lakshmana, introduces himself and so on. At the time he is in the disguise of a Brahmin, doesn't go as a monkey. Rama also finds so much praise from just the way that Hanuman talks. Rama says, no fault can be found in his face, Hanuman's face. In his face, his eyes, his forehead, between the eyebrows, or any other part of his body. His sentences are not too elaborate, not ambiguous, not slow and dragging, not fast and hurried. He is raised in his chest and throat and he speaks in a medium tone. Nasam aveda vidusha shakyamevam vibhashitum. Says he is an expert. His words are auspicious, they are refined, speaks very well. It is as though his words flow from all the three sources, from the bottom of his bosom, from the throat and his head. Such a wise person, who will not adore? So this is Prajna, the wisdom of Hanuman, shown in the way that he spoke, he conducted himself. And when Rama and Hanuman didn't even know each other, from the very first approach of Hanuman, disguised as a Brahmin, Rama could see, and he immediately made it a point to utter this praise of Hanuman to Lakshmana. So that is the name Prajna. He is also known as an expert in Vyakaranam. In fact, Rama says, Nan Rugveda Vinitasya. One who does not know the Rigveda, the Yajurveda, etc., they will not be able to speak this way. Surely he knows Vyakarana. Nunam Vyakaranam Kritsnam. Anena Bahuda Shrutam. Surely he knows the rules of and the etymology and how Sanskrit, the language, has come about. So much he has spoken, but there is nothing that has been incorrect or unsuitable. Bahu Vyaharata Anena Na Kinchit Apabhashitam, he says. So Rama showers praise not to Hanuman directly, but in a side conversation with Lakshmana. Anyway, so that is the name Prajna. The next name is Ramaduta. Ramaduta, of course, he is the messenger of Rama. And in fact, Hanuman proudly claims that. To Sita, he says, Aham Ramasya Sandesha Devi Dutattavagataha. I am come here as a messenger of Rama, because Sita doesn't know when Hanuman first goes to find her. He doesn't know who Hanuman is. So he goes and introduces himself as being a messenger of Rama, hence the name Ramaduta. Even when he is captured, Hanuman, he allows himself to be captured by Ravana's guards so that he'll be able to see Ravana in the palace. So Ravana asks, who are you? You don't really seem to be a monkey, even though you look like one. Have you been sent by Indra, by some other god? And so on. Again he says, proudly he says, no. I am not sent by either Indra or Ishvara or anybody, neither Varuna nor Yama nor Kubera nor Vishnu. I am a Vanara. I have come here as a messenger of Rama. So very clearly he is saying that. And when he is burning Lanka, he is shouting and shouting these slogans to strike terror in the hearts of the demonic people of Lanka. And there also he says, Jayati atibalo Ramo Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha Rajajayati Sugrivo Ragavena Abhipalitaha Dasoham Kosalendrasya Ramasya Aklishtakarmanah Hanuman Shatrusainyānām Nihanta Marutatmajaha. He says, I am the Dasa of the great Atibalaha, more, beyond powerful, that is Rama, highly powerful, which is Lakshmana. They are bound to win, they are bound to be victorious. Sugriva, the Raja, bound to be one who is protected by Raghava or Rama, he is bound to be victorious. I am the Dasa, the servant of Rama. Kosalendra means Rama, of one who is Aklishta Karmana, who can accomplish deeds without any effort. So this is me, the son of Vayu, he says. So that is the name Ramaduta, as a messenger of Rama. And then the last name in this verse, Pratapavan. Pratapa is related to also, there is a tapa, so there is a kind of a heat, a teja in him. So Pratapavan, one who has this resplendent spiritual energy, majesty, dignity, splendor. One of the definitions of Pratapa is also, this is Kosha Dandaja Teja. Means it is a prowess like the kings, coming from Kosha, the treasury, because of their wealth. And also the power to punish, because the kings are able to, they have the wealth and they have the ability to punish. That is Danda. So the Teja, the prowess arising from those two abilities, that is also said to be Pratapa. Hanuman had that majesty, that the majesty coming from the wealth of knowledge, of strength, of courage, and the actual strength to overpower. So that is Pratapavan. So here we finish all the names in the 9th verse. Now we look at the 10th verse. It is as follows. Vanarakesari sutaha Sita Shokanivarakaha Anjana Garbha Sambhuto Balarka Sadrishananaha. Now we look at the names in the verse one by one. The first is a well-known one. It is Vanara. Vanara means something like an ape. But also Vanaras are those that have certain powers. For example, they can change their form, etc. Vane charati iti Vanaraha. That's one of the etymological descriptions, that those who roam about in the forests. Now in Ramayana, in the Balakanda, Brahma commands the various celestial deities to give birth to Vanaras. And this is to help Lord Vishnu, who will be going to the earth as Rama. And in this part of the epic, many Vanaras are listed. About Maruti, that is Hanuman, it is said, Marutasya Aurasa Sriman Hanuman Nama Vanaraha. So a Vanara named Hanuman is the son of Vayu or Marut, arising from the heart. Okay? Because biologically he is the son of a Vanara called Kesari, but he is Aurasa Putraha, coming from the heart or the chest of Vayu. Vajra Samhanano Peto Vainateya Samojavaha. So his body has the firmness of a diamond. Vajra Samhananam. This is also something we see in the Yoga Sutras as a Kaya Sampat. So he has that firmness, strength and hardness of the body, and the speed of Vainateya, that is the divine bird Garuda, who is the vehicle of Vishnu. Sarva Vanara Mukhyeshu Buddhiman Balavanapi. So this Vanara, among all the Vanara leaders, he is the one who is Buddhiman, the most wise and the most intelligent, and Balavanapi, also the most powerful, most courageous and most strong. So that is the description of Hanuman there. And in general about Vanaras, it is said that thousands were given birth to, Te Srishta Bahusahasra, so several thousands, and all of them were incomparable in strength, in their achievements, and they had the ability to change form at will. So that is about Vanara, the first name in this stanza. The next is Kesari Sutaha, son of Kesari. So Hanuman's, the story of birth is that his father was Kesari, his mother was Anjana, so he is known as Anjaneya. And in Ramayana itself, it has been described to Hanuman, Sattvam Kesarina Putra Kshetrajo Bhima Vikramaha. So you are the son of Kesari. And but also Marutasya Aurasa Putraha, who is coming, who has the powers and the blessing of Vayu. And thereby he is the son of Vayu because Vayu transferred his own powers to his son. Putraha Tejasa Chapi Tatsamaha. In terms of prowess, you are equal to Vayu. Tvam hi Vayu Suto Vatsa Plavanepi Tatsamaha. Even in terms of jumping or flying, you have the power of Vayu. So here the second name Kesari Sutaha, since he is the son of a Vanara called Kesari. The next name is Sita Shoka Nivarakaha, the one who removed the sorrow of Sita. Sita Shoka. Shoka means grief or sorrow. Nivarakaha means one who relieved her of it. So removed the sorrow. Now this is very beautifully pictured in the Ramayana in several verses, and we don't have time to go through all that. But you have to understand how Hanuman, and some of it I have touched upon in the previous names also. But Hanuman very delicately worked upon Sita because it was a very delicate situation. Sita does not know Hanuman. She is surrounded by demonesses. She is in the land of demons. Demons are known to change form, so you cannot trust whoever is coming to you. So Hanuman had a very difficult task of firstly finding Sita, but also gaining her trust and conveying the message. So we will not go over all of that, but let us see what Sita herself says to Hanuman after listening to him. She says, Amritam Visha Samsrishtam Tvaya Vanara Bhashitam Yachana Anya Manorama Yacha Shoka Parayanaha. So after he has gained her trust and he tells her about Rama and how he is grief stricken because Sita is not with him, she says, Oh Hanuman, the words spoken by you, it is like nectar mixed with poisons. Amritam Visha Samsrishtam. Why? Because it is nectar. It says Rama is not having any other thoughts other than me. Yachana Anya Mano Ramo. Yachana Anya Mana Ramo. So Rama, his mind is completely fixed in me. He is not thinking about anything else. In that sense, it is nectar. Yacha Shoka Parayana. But he is in complete grief. So in that sense, it is also poison. So what you have spoken, O Hanuman, so it gives Sita solace, relief. Hanuman also gives her confidence. So in that sense, the Sita Shoka Nivaraka. In fact, again she says, Tvam Drishtava Priyavaktaram Samprashyami Vanara. So Sita, who has been fully engulfed by sorrow, she says, O Vanara, having seen you, who is so refined and sweet in speech, I am completely overjoyed or completely happy. Samprarishyami means completely happy, overjoyed, and positive. Like what? So she says, Ardha Sanjata Sasyeva Vrishtim Prapya Vasundhara. So very beautiful. She says, it is like the earth will feel happy when the half-grown crops receive rain. Ardha Sanjata Sasyeva Vrishtim Prapya Vasundhara. So the earth that is scorched, there are some crops that have grown halfway, and then there is rainfall. And the joy of that rain, which is life-giving, that is the kind of joy Sita experienced by listening to what the Vanara Hanuman had to say. And therefore, this name was Sita Ashoka Nivarakaha. The next name is Anjana Garbha Sambhuta. So one born of Anjana. So Anjana is the another Vanara, the lady Vanara, Hanuman's mother, who is supposed to be very, very beautiful. Vikhyata Trishu Lokeshu Rupena Apratima Bhuvi. So Anjana, I said, she was well known or famous in all three worlds for her incomparable beauty on earth. Vikhyata Trishu Lokeshu. But because of a curse, Abhishapat Abhuttata Kapitve Kamarupini. So originally, the celestial being, extremely beautiful and well known, was cursed and had to lead a life on earth as a Vanara. She was the wife of Kesari. Tasya Bharya Babhuveshta Anjaneti Parishruta, known as Anjana, the wife of Kesari. And she gave birth to Hanuman. Janayamasa tasyam vai Vayur Atmajam Uttamam. So she gave birth to Kesari's son, but also Vayu's son, because Vayu completely engulfed her and transferred his powers into her, so that the baby born will have the powers of Vayu. So that is Anjana Garbha Sambhuta. And the last name in this verse is Balarka Sadrishananaha. Balarka means Arka means sun. Balarka means like the young sun. Sun is the sun, sun. So face like the glowing sun, young glowing sun. So Hanuman had that glow. In fact, this term probably comes from one of the dhyana mantras of Hanuman. So there is for different deities, there are different mantras that are prescribed for dhyana. So for dhyana on Hanuman, Asina Kadali Vane Manimaye Balarka Koti Prabha. So Hanuman was like a Balarka Koti Prabha. So his glow is like 1 crore suns, 1 crore young suns. Together, the amount of glow they would have, that is the glow that Hanuman had. He is sitting Kadali Vane, in the grove of banana plants, Manimaye, full of gems. Asinaha, sitting there. Dhyayan. So this is Hanuman who is doing dhyana. Dhyayan Brahma Param Karotu Manasa Shuddhim Hanuman Mama. So this Hanuman, who is himself sitting in a dhyana position in the grove of banana plants, filled with gems, glowing like 1 crore or 10 million suns. With that glow, may that Hanuman bring purity to my mind. Manasa Shuddhim Karotu. This Hanuman. So that is the Dhyana mantra. Asina Kadalivane Manimaye Balarka Koti Prabha Dhyayan Brahma Param Karotu Manasa Shuddhim Hanuman Mama. So from here we can see the name Balarka Sadrishananaha. One whose face had the glow of the glowing young sun. So these are the names in the 10th verse. We now look at the 11th verse. Vibhishana Priyakaro Dashagriva Kulantakaha Lakshmana Pranadata Cha Vajrakayo Mahadyutihi. So the first among these names is Vibhishana Priyakaraha. One who was dear to Vibhishana because he did something that was important and dear to Vibhishana. Vibhishana is, of course, the brother of the demon Ravana, but that brother of Ravana who sided with Rama. So he was noble demon who fought the war on the side of Rama. So when Vibhishana, he approaches, so Rama is encamped and ready for war. And Vibhishana is, of course, a general in the enemies, on the enemy's side. So one day, Vibhishana approaches Rama's camp. Okay, and then everybody doubts him. All the Vanaras, all the generals, said, "What is this happening?" And they in fact advise Rama, because Rama immediately calls his advisors and seeks the opinion on what is to be done. Most of the advice is to be very careful, to capture him, to kill him, not to trust, and so on. But Hanuman does something different. Different, he says. So it is said in the Ramayana about Hanuman, Atha samskara sampanno Hanuman sachiva uttamaha. The great, the best advisor, excellent advisor, who was made up of all the good samskaras, that is Hanuman. He said something, Uvacha vachanam shlakshnam maduram arthavat maduram laghu. So what he said was full of meaning, brief and sweet. And the way he says it, he says, Na vadan api sangarsha, na adhikyan na chakamataha. He says, I'm going to tell you something, Rama, and this is not for the sake of argument. I'm not trying to argue. I'm not trying to get into a fight. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not speaking out of any desire or my own agenda. Navadan napi sangarsha nadikyan na chakamataha. Vakshyami vachanam rajan yatha artham ramagauravat. So I'm going to say whatever I'm saying for so that your own greatness may increase. So Hanuman says, he says, I'm seeing an error in what is advised to you by your counselors, who you have assigned to look into the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages from accepting Vibhishana on your side. But he says it is not possible to have this kind of an investigation into his character. And Hanuman makes many lovely points. We don't have the time to go through all of that. But we are speaking in this context because the name is Vibhishana Priyakaraha, who did something that was delightful to Vibhishana. So Hanuman says, Ashankita matiswasto na shatas parisarpati. This is a very nice brief saying. He says, a deceitful person does not approach so fearlessly and confidently. Ashankita matihi, without any doubt, Vibhishana has come. And if he is a deceitful person, if he is a shatha, then this is not how he will approach. Ashankita matiswasto na shatha parisarpati. And he says the way he speaks and his expression, etc., it clearly says there is no evil in him. Because Hanuman says it is not possible to hide expressions of a face even if you try to conceal it. Because by force, the internal intent of a person gets revealed, says Hanuman. So he says, Deshakala upapannam chakaryam karyavidambara sapalam kurute kshipram prayogena abhisammitam. So whatever is suitable for that time and period, time and space, oh you Rama who knows what is to be done, you can take a call immediately and so that it will be successful. So he says, oh Rama, the best among the wise, whatever I felt I told you according to my own ability about the sincerity of this demon. So after hearing all of this, of course, you are the judge, you can do what you feel fit. So very delicately, very wisely, Hanuman actually goes counter to the prevailing sentiment, which itself requires courage. And then he puts forth his points. And in the end, Rama accepts Vibhishana to his camp. And of course, then we now know what happened. In the war, Rama emerged victorious. Vibhishana was very useful in bringing about that victory. And in the end, Rama crowned Vibhishana the king of Lanka. So this friendship, it went a long way. And it was all brought together by Hanuman. And therefore the name Vibhishana Priyakaraha. Okay, the next name is Dashagriva Kulantakaha. Dashagriva means one having 10 heads, which is of course Ravana. Kulantakaha means who ended that whole branch, whole progeny. So Ravana was killed and so were all his descendants. So that whole line was destroyed by Hanuman. Now of course, Rama killed Ravana, no doubt. But Hanuman has a very major role to play, and therefore the name Dashagriva Kulantaka to Hanuman. Because from the very beginning, from creating the friendship between Rama and Sugriva, Hanuman had a role. Finding Sita, Hanuman had a role. Creating havoc in Lanka, Hanuman had a role. Getting Rama to accept Vibhishana, Hanuman had a role. In the war, whenever there was a major problem, like Lakshmana fell into a swoon and he had to bring the herb Sanjeevani, Hanuman did that. So Hanuman brought together and made all of this happen. Therefore, a very suitable name, Dashagriva Kulantakaha. Next, we move to the next name, Lakshmana Pranadata. So, of course, we know the story. Lakshmana was injured by Indrajit and he fell unconscious. And there was no cure, people, they didn't know what to do. Rama goes into a big bout of grief. He cannot stand it. He says, my energy to fight is failing as I see this valiant Lakshmana, who is more dearer to me than my own life. He is bathed in blood. My mind is greatly disturbed. I don't know what to do. Oh, what use is my life? He says, what use is life? What is the use of this happiness if this great brother of mine, he is going to meet with his death? He is this brother who speaks highly of war, etc., of valor and courage, and he is injured like this. What is the use? So Rama is also in throes of lament. Avasidanti gatrani swapnayate nrudamiva chinta me vardate tivra mumurshapi cha jayate, says Rama. He says, oh, my limbs are shaking. My mind is not in its place. The worry that is growing within me, and I may fall in a swoon unconscious. So, in this situation, okay, again we know the story. Sushena says there is one herb that can cure Lakshmana, but it is only available in the Himalayas. Now, Lanka is to the southern extremity of the Indian peninsula. Himalayas are at the very north. So again, Hanuman says, I will go and bring that herb. Okay. So he immediately says, Tasya buddhi samatpanna marutehe amitaujasaha. Immediately, Hanuman, in his mind it comes, Idameva gamishyami gruhitva. So he goes there. And he is looking, he takes his giant leap from Lanka to Himalayas, he lands there. Sushena has described what herb to look for, but Hanuman simply cannot find it. So he doesn't know what to do. He is looking for it. He knows there is urgency. Okay. He hopes he is on the right mountain peak, but he can't find it. So then he says, Idameva gamishyami gruhitva shikharam girehe. So what I'll do is I'll just pick up this whole mountain peak and carry that with me. And therefore these iconic images of Hanuman with a mountain in his hand, because he can't find who else can think of this? He can't find the herb. He decides to carry the mountain peak back, because he thinks if I go without taking this herb, Vishalya Karani, there will be harm if there is delay. Okay, so therefore I have to do something. So, iti sanchintya Hanuman gatva kshipram mahabalaha asadya parvata sreshtam trihi prakampya gireshiraha. So he shakes and picks up the mountain peak, and with great speed he comes back to Lanka and places it back on the floor, and then tells Sushena very, very innocently, he has done such a big deed. He has gotten the whole mountain peak in his hands, and there is a very picturesque description of how the mountain shakes, how the animals flee, how he picks it up, and so on. He carries it leaping through the skies, brings it to Lanka, places it, and to Sushena, who is the doctor, the Vaidya, very innocently Hanuman says, Oshadir navagachami tamaham haripungava tadidam shikaram kritsnam girehe tasyaratam maya. He says, I'm sorry, I could not understand which herb you are looking for. So what to do? Therefore I got the whole entire mountain peak. But everybody else was wonderstruck. Vismitastu babuvaste sarve vanarapungavaha. Everybody, they are vismita. Vismita means wonderstruck. By what? Drushtva Hanumatak karma. Looking at what Hanuman has done, Surairapi sudushkaram. Even the gods cannot do it, or very difficult even for the gods to do. Hanuman has come and done that. He has gotten the entire mountain peak, and here so innocently he is saying, I'm sorry, I could not find the herb, I didn't know what to do, so I got the whole mountain peak. And then of course that herb works on Lakshmana. Lakshmana is revived. The Rama gains his energy, because Rama was at that point, he had also given up. So Hanuman saved the course of the battle and the war, gave life to Lakshmana, and therefore also to Rama. So Lakshmana Pranadatra, that is the the next Lakshmana Pranadata, name of Hanuman. The next one is Vajrakaya. Now we have seen a similar name earlier. Vajrakaya means body like a diamond, lustrous, strong, hard. And we know that as students of yoga, in the Yoga Sutras, 3rd chapter, Rupa Lavanya Bala Vajra Samhanatvani Kaya Sampat. So, among the Siddhis, Kaya Sampat is listed and as part of the Bhutajaya. And Patanjali has said, and one of those is Vajra Samhananam. Body becomes lustrous and strong like a diamond. And of course, Hanuman, who is an expert in yoga, in adhyatma, and so on, he had the Vajrakaya. So that is his Vajra means diamond, Kaya means body. So one with a diamond like body. And the last in the verse is Mahadyutihi. Dyuti again is splendor and luster. So it is related to the previous name because a diamond is not only strong and hard, it is also lustrous. Mahadyuti talks about splendor and luster. The splendor is splendor of Adhyatma, coming from the inner spiritual strength. In fact, Dyuti is defined as Dehaja Kantir Dyutiriti Acharyaha Manyante. So what is Dyuti? Dehaja Kantihi. The splendor and luster coming from the body. Dehaja means born out of the body. So Hanuman had that. His body had the special glow. In fact, when Sugriva selects Hanuman to be the person to search for Sita, he says, Tejasa vapite bhutam na samam buhi vidyate. The tejas that you have, that's the splendor, the inner strength and splendor that you have, nobody else in this world has. Tejasa vapite bhutam na samam buhi vidyate. There is no equal to you on the world. So Hanuman had that duty. In fact, this name Mahadyuti also reminds us of our Guruji, because Guruji had this splendor and luster. He just had to walk into the room and you would notice his body had that shine. If you have skin, his skin had a glow, even at the ripe old age. So that glow and luster comes from spiritual and adhyatmic strength that, of course, Hanuman directly embodied. So that is the final name of the 11th verse that we saw today. Next, we'll be looking at the 12th verse. We look at the next verse, the 12th verse. It goes as follows. Chiranjeevi Rama Bhakto Daityakarya Vighatakaha Akshahanta Kanchanabha Panchavaktro Mahatapaha. So the first name is Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi is generally used to refer to somebody who will live forever. Chiram Jivati iti Chiranjeevi. Now, Hanuman also is said to be one of the Chiranjeevis. He is still living and will live forever. Until when? So that is a beautiful story. Towards the end of Ramayana, where Rama is taking leave of everyone after being crowned, etc. Rama gives gifts and there is some conversations and so on. Hanuman asks something unique. He says, Yavad Rama Katham Veera Shroshyeham Prithivitale Tavat Sharire Vatsyantu Mama Pranana Samshayaha. He says, as long as the Rama Katha, the story of Rama, is going to be heard in this world, let my prana be in my body. Hearing that, Rama immediately gets up from his throne and goes and embraces Hanuman. And then he says, O great monkey, O Kapi Sreshta, this will surely happen, no doubt. As long as the worlds are there, my story will also be there. Loka hi yavat sthasyanti tavat sthasyati mekata. And as long as the story of my deeds will be talked about in this world, and which he just said will be as long as the worlds exist. until then the prana will be there in your body, which means you will continue to live. Therefore, it is said even today that wherever Ramayana is being recited, Rama stories are being narrated, Hanuman is surely there. In fact, I don't know, but we do have distinct memories in the institute during the Hanuman Jayanti program as kids. It has happened multiple times, not just once, that we have seen a langur in the institute compound, either on the compound wall or in the garden and so on. And whenever we used to see that, we used to call everyone in the family as kids. We used to say, come, 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 Hanuman has come, and point to the langur. So it is said even in villages and elsewhere, wherever there is a Ramakatha, you will see Hanuman either in the form of a monkey or in the form of a bhakta and so on. So when Hanuman lives forever as a Chiranjeevi, it is not for himself, but it is because he wants to be immersed in his devotion to Rama. And that leads us to the next name in the verse, which is Rama Bhakta, devotee of Rama. So again, the entire life of Hanuman since he met Rama is about being a devotee of Rama, and that is well known. And as a devotee, he is not asking for things from Rama, but he is doing things for Rama. And the entire Ramayana, there are so many deeds by Hanuman, without which the Rama's campaign of success over Ravana would not have been possible. But see the fortune of this devotee. It is not that he gets blessings or he gets riches from the Lord. What he gets is gratitude. Rama says, Aham cha raghuvamsham cha lakshmanascha mahabalaha vedeya darshanenadhya dharmata parirakshitaha. So me, Rama is saying, it is me, my entire vamsha, my entire lineage, this powerful Lakshmana, just by your seeing Vaidehi, that is Sita, we have been protected in dharma through dharma. So it says, Idam tu mama dinasya manobhuya prakarshati yadiyasya priyakhyatuhu nakurmi sadrusham priyam. He says, okay. So Rama is saying, me unfortunate one, who has lost his wife because Sita has been taken away. What can I do? I have lost my fortune, I am in the forest. What can I do? You have brought me such wonderful news. What can I do that can please you? And then he says, all I can do is get up and embrace you. Esha sarvasva bhutastu parishvango means embracing. Parishvango hanumataha. So there is a famous picture or a painting that shows Rama and Hanuman embracing each other. Again, as a child, we had a large picture in our house in Nigdi. It was framed and put up on the wall, and I used to often look at it. All of us used to often look at it. Very beautiful painting. But this is the sort of a unique bond between the Lord and the devotee, where the Lord shows gratitude, gets up and embraces the devotee. Because he says, Ityuktva pritirushtango. Rama, who is Priti, his entire body is thrilled by love. Pritirushtango. Ramastvam parishasvaje. He got up and embraced Hanuman. Hanumantam Krutatmanam. Hanuman who has fulfilled everything he needs. Krutatmanam. There are no more wants. Kritakaryam upagatam. So Hanuman who has done his deeds, fully contented, as a reward, gets an intimate embrace from his Lord Rama. So that is the stature of this Rama Bhakta. The next name is Daitya Karya Vighatakaha. Daitya means the asuras, the demons, the rakshasas. Karya Vighatakaha means one who destroyed, brought in obstacles in the way of their deeds. He did not allow them to accomplish their deeds. Completely nullified whatever the Rakshasas wanted to do. And there is such a big list. Hanuman, from the range of Prashasta's 7 sons he killed. He killed Akshay, Ravana's son, even in his first visit. Then there are his huge feats in the war itself. Then getting the herb Sanjeevani from the entire mountain to get Sanjeevani when Lakshmana was about to die. So there is so much that Hanuman has done, burning Lanka and so on. So he's a Daitya Karya Vighatakaha. He did not allow any deeds of the demons to succeed. The next name is Akshahanta, the killer of Aksha. Now this happens in the Sundarakanda. The battle actually is, though it is not very well known or famous, in the Ramayana itself it is described in very glorious terms. So when we are reciting Hanuman's names, every name should trigger certain picture in the mind, memories in the mind, and generate awe and devotion. So here the glories of that battle should come to memory. And in this battle, Hanuman was actually hurt. It says oozing blood from the wound caused by the arrows sent by Akshay into Hanuman's head. Hanuman, due to the blood, he looked like the newly rising sun. His eyes, bathed in blood rolling rapidly, he shone brightly like the sun with glorious rays, and the arrows were the rays because the arrows were stuck in Hanuman. Now what happens is Hanuman, this is his first visit to Lanka, but look at how he thinks. He is not full of revenge and fury to kill. He says this warrior is a great man, he is performing a great act, and he is a young man, so he is a mature youth. I don't feel like killing him, who is distinguished in all these arts of warfare. He also seems to have a great intellect, and he is prominent by his valor. He is well composed, he is tolerant, his deeds are great. He is undoubtedly adored by saints and the yakshas and the nagas. But then what to do? If I neglect him, he will undoubtedly overpower me. And if I am overpowered, how can I accomplish my deed of finding Sita? So the only option left for me is to kill him. And this is how, almost reluctantly, even though so wounded, Hanuman makes up his mind, continues the battle and kills Akshay. So it's a very beautifully described episode that is captured in this name, Akshahanta. The next is Kanchanavaha. So this is like lustrous as gold. Even the Hanuman Chalisa says, Kanchana Bharana Biraja Subesa. When Sita sees Hanuman, she also sees him, as it is described, beaming like a cluster of Ashoka flowers. His eyes resembling glowing gold. Pulla Shokotkara Bhasam Taptachami Karekshanam. So the gold that is heated and glowing, that his eyes were like that. Taptachami Karekshanam. And then she says, someone who is speaking very agreeable words, who is very humble, but yet beaming like a cluster of these Ashoka flowers and eyes resembling gold. So that gives us a picture of Hanuman as Kanchanavaha, glowing like gold. The next name is Panchavaktra, one with 5 heads. So the Panchamukhi Hanuman is a famous depiction of Hanuman. It is also seen in several of the tantric texts and tantras. There is a Panchamukha Hanuman Kavacham as a stotra as well. So it's shown depicted with 5 heads, one of a monkey, one like Narasimha, the man lion, one with of Garuda, the king of birds, one of Varaha, the boar, and Hayagriva, the horse. And there is this line that says Vande Vanara Narasimha Khagarat Krodashvavaktraanvitam Divyalankaraṇam Tripanchanayanam Dedipyamanam Richa, where the five heads of Hanuman, Vanara, Narasimha, Khagarat, means the king of birds, etc., have been also described. There is also actually a story where Ravana's brother, Mahiravana, he is the lord of the nether worlds. So there are some stories of how Hanuman went into Naraka, the nether worlds. And one of such variants, it says there were 5 lamps. But to overpower and win, all the lamps had to be extinguished together. And there Hanuman takes his form with 5 heads. And each of the 5 heads blow out the 5 lamps together. Right? And that is the story of how Hanuman has 5 heads, one of the stories. Of course, the 5 heads also can refer to the Panchabhutas, the Pancha Indriyas, and having mastering over them. So this is Hanuman as a Panchavaktra, a very powerful depiction of the deity, and said to sadhana on this particular depiction is said to bring in a lot of siddhis. And the last name in this verse is Mahatapaha, one whose tapas is very great. Now we know again in the Hanuman Chalisa, it's Ashta Siddhi Navanidike Data, it says. So he has the Ashta Siddhi, Anima, Garima, Mahima, etc. In fact, if you look at it, every action in his life, it was a tapas. Whether in childhood, he is learning the Vidyas and the Vyakarana from Surya. This we have covered when going over his previous names. Where he said Hanuman studied from Surya and he used to learn going along with Surya from sunrise to sunset. So all day he was learning Vidya and Vyakaranam. His crossing the ocean, which was considered unimaginable, other Vanaras were not able to accomplish that. But for him, that great deed is also a tapas. It is done for his Lord. When it was done when even he didn't know his powers. And all his other exploits, finding Sita, gaining the trust of Sita, burning Lanka, getting Sanjeevani, advising Rama when Vibhishana entered the camp. All of this you can see it as a tapas. It is full of adhyatmic orientation, full of self-restraint and wisdom. Hence the name Mahatapaha. So that covers all the names in this verse.